Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here and welcome back to my channel and a very happy new year to you all. It's 2019 and we are kicking this year off right with a good old moan about The Sims 4. Yes, welcome to my brand for 2019, complaining about things that we need in the game. I watched Plumbella's version of this for what she wants out of The Sims 4 in 2019, and it inspired me to make my own list based off how I've been playing The Sims in the past year and everything that I would like to see introduced into the game throughout the next year. So at number 10, we have a brand new woohoo spot. We all know that Sims like to get a little bit dirty as they're getting clean, and I personally really miss the shower woohoo. And I just miss this woohoo because it was so, quick and easy, and you could just hop in the shower with your partner. If you wanted to have a baby, you could have a baby. It was just so simple. Showers are so small, you don't need to go for a bed woohoo. And I feel like every other woohoo, you have to go out and, buy something specific for it. Like a hot tub, or a wardrobe, or a coffin, for God's sakes. Can we just get some less kinky stuff and just bring back the quick and easy shower woohoo? It would make my 2019 so much easier. Number 9 is something that I have struggled with for the longest time in The Sims 4, and it's that goddamn reward store. Honestly, I don't even have my Sims really care about their lifetime aspirations anymore because the reward store just seems pointless to me. It's barely updated when we get a new pack, and everything that's practically on there has been there since base game. So everything is super boring, none of it feels new or renewed, and it just feels like such a forgotten feature, which is really bad when this game has been out for almost 5 years now. I think personally we should get at least 4 or 5 new rewards in that store every single time a game pack or an expansion pack is released. There were a couple that were added with seasons and also Get Famous, but we've already forgotten about that feature at this point. Number 8 is one that I hope you guys can agree with, and this is another town like Newcrest. Newcrest, for those of you who have only just got the game, maybe you got it for Christmas, it's a free world that actually wasn't in the base game, but it's an empty world where you can place any lots that you see fit. However, I do feel as if Newcrest fits in very well with Willow Creek and Brindleton Bay and kind of the suburban green areas. I would really like to see a Newcrest 2.0 that fits in more with Del Sol Valley and Oasis Springs. Honestly, I was so disappointed with Del Sol Valley when Get Famous was released. We barely had anywhere to place lots, and it was such a tiny world. I would just love a desert world that's completely empty that we can play however we want to in it. Number 7, I know, is a big one and one of the biggest wants in The Sims 4, and I might just have put it on my list so that I can stop seeing people tweet Grant about it whenever he comes onto Twitter and it gets put onto my timeline. But number 7 is more stairs. More staircases for The Sims 4. Whether they be U-shaped, whether they be the big curved rounded stairs that you have in grand houses or mansions. I do personally feel as if new stairs probably should have been added to Get Famous. You had the perfect opportunity with all the ostentatious furniture. Wow, that was a big word for me to use at the very beginning of this year. And that opportunity just fell flat. We saw no new staircases. It's been 4 years and we still don't have any different shaped staircases, which I know so many builders are wanting. And I can see why you guys do, because honestly, what we have in the game right now still feels lackluster, and I just want stuff that can push people's creativities and can just make these amazing lots that they see in their heads. But unfortunately, you're not able to do that because the game doesn't offer you those stairs that you need to build such a thing. I also really miss kids like sliding down the banister of spiral staircases. Kids don't feel like kids in The Sims 4 to me. I barely play as families because honestly, I feel like every single life stage, minus young adult and adult, are kind of half-baked in The Sims 4, and it's a big reason why I choose to play as a young adult rather than a family player that I used to be in The Sims 3. Number 6 is something that I'm kind of surprised isn't in the game already, and it's being able to switch through color swatches in Creator Sim using the Numpad. Kind of the same way that you can in build mode, where you can hit plus and minus and it goes through the color swatches. I wish that that was available in Creator Sim. I just think it would be so much easier to have that rather than having to drag your mouse over. And this makes me sound really lazy. And yes, I am, okay? It's one of my New Year's resolutions is to at least try to join a gym with the thousands of other people that are joining in January. But it would just make life so much easier to just be able to tap a button and switch through the swatches that you want to see. For number 5, I wish that we could get the favorite system back. And I tried not to make this list just a list of rehashed things that we've already had in previous Sims games, but I do miss Sims having favorites. I think it adds a bit more personality to your game. I feel like when The Sims 4 first came out, emotions were like this big selling point, and the team were like, yeah, this is gonna make The Sims so much more innovative. It's something, is that the right word? It's something that we've never had before. You guys are gonna love it. It's really gonna play on like how your Sims react to one another. And now emotions just kind of fall flat. They've definitely been toned down. Have you tried to have a Sim die from mortification or another like feeling like rage? It's super hard to do nowadays. It used to be so much more simple. It's really hard to do it in the game. So I feel like 1, emotions may have been nerfed behind the scenes, and 2, they just kind of don't have any effect on your Sims. They don't really have any effect on how they interact with each other. Whereas I feel like favorites would just add a bit more personality. Turn-ons and turn-offs that we had in The Sims 2. I loved that system, and I just really want my Sims to just have a bit more oomph about them. Number 4 is also one that I miss from a previous version, but it's being able to pick up and place Sims in either buy mode or with a cheat. This is more from like a content creator perspective, I guess, like when I'm making thumbnails and stuff, but you have to download a mod so that you can teleport your Sim to a place so that you can pose them, whereas it was so much easier in The Sims 3 to just be able to like pick up a Sim, plop them down in front of like a green wall that you wanted to take a screenshot in front of, and boom, done, dusted, really easy. You didn't need any outside mods to do that, and it's something that I really miss having as a tool in The Sims 4. Number 3 is more negative traits. I feel like the only really negative traits that we have are jealousy, evil, and mean. I can't really think of any other negative traits off the top of my head. 1, I kind of just want more traits in general, and also more trait slots. We currently have 3 trait slots in the game. I would love for that to maybe be bumped up to 5, especially if we're starting to get more and more traits with each game pack and each expansion. I feel like 3 is quite restrictive, and I always tend to go back to the same kind of Sims because it's such a small number. But I would like more negative traits as well, such as maybe a stubborn trait, a rebellious trait, something just to give my Sims, again, it's about giving my Sims personality. I feel like I go back to the same type of Sims because they're the ones that I'm comfortable with and they're the ones that I have the most fun playing. Whereas if there were more trait options, especially negative ones, I would get a lot more experimental in my Sims 4 game. So I do think that's a really, really big need for 2019. Number 2 is kind of based upon that as well, and I would really love to see more aspirations. I choose the same aspirations over and over again, but again, it's because there's not that many. I would love some more hobby-based aspirations. We don't have one for the wellness. We don't really have one for video editors or DJs or anything like that. I would really like traits that depend on hobbies more so than having to go out and have a career. But it's that full circle of what's the point of having more aspirations if the reward store isn't gonna be updated and constantly added to, because then you've not got anywhere to spend your lifetime achievement points, so what's the point of having more? It's one big cycle and it needs to be fixed. And at the very top of my list, you guys will probably know this. If you follow me on Twitter, you know how frequently I go on about this. And it is a Sims 4 hobby pack. Be it an expansion, be it a game pack, just give me something for my Sims to do. I am begging you. I am on my knees. I'm begging the Maxis gods at this point. Bella Goth, if you can hear me now, use your persuasive powers to get more hobbies into the game. And I'll give a bit more reasoning as to why I want more hobbies in the game. It all comes down to that feeling of The Sims 4 being a little bit underbaked, and that's really bad for a game of 4 years. People are asking for new life stages, which honestly I do not want to see, but they're asking for it because there's nothing currently for life stages to do. There's not really anything for children to do. I am getting so bored of having kids in my families because they can't do anything. And trust me, I use my imagination. I have them join clubs, I have them go out, I have them make friends, but there's just nothing really to support that in the game, so it's all based upon your imagination, and once you've done pretty much everything that you can do, you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll just age them up, but then you age them up into a teenager, and again, unless they're like this rebellious teenager who likes to go out to nightclubs and drink, there's not really an awful lot for them to do. Give me some skateboarding, give me some dance clubs, give me some tennis clubs, sports, anything that makes my Sims feel a little bit more like they are worth playing. Elders as well, another forgotten life stage where I just feel as if I'm waiting for my Sims to die. And I probably will have a video up some point in the future discussing what I would actually like to see in a pack such as a hobbies pack, because it's a question that I get asked a lot on Twitter. Like, everyone's like, well, what would you want? Like, stereotypically, like, what would you want for those life stages? And it's far too much to describe in this video, but it is my biggest want of The Sims 4 for 2019. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Leave your comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys want to see from The Sims 4 in 2019. Did we agree? Did we disagree? If you're a builder, then please do let me know what you would like to see, because as you guys know about me, I'm not the biggest builder in the world, so it's always interesting to see what you guys want from The Sims 4. But thank you all so much for tuning in, and once again, I hope you have the best year ever. Make 2019 your bitch. Make it bow down to you. I love you guys so much, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Bye guys!